Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Good morning. I think the AG has to brief the public every week. The minority should give us a break. When Ghanaians were shouting at the top of their voices that corruption was unbecoming, they told us to keep quiet. The thieves must be exposed to serve as a deterrent. Thanks. Keep those comments coming before I move to Mr. Pratt. Let me remind you of the discussion we are having this morning. It has to do with the minorities press conference, minorities position on the Attorney General's oral press conferences. Mr. Pratt?
Well, I mean, it is interesting that the minority has not pointed to any law which has been violated, any law which has been broken. It hasn't. What the minority simply is saying is that the Attorney General should not be speaking to the press about cases that he's preparing, to prosecute in the courts. And that merely by telling the media, and therefore the people of Ghana, about the cases that he is intending to prosecute in the courts, amounts to trial by media. I mean, this is laughable. I mean, this has no basis. First and foremost, the Attorney General is a minister. All ministers are enjoined to inform the public on whose behalf they work about what they're doing, what the expectations are, and how they are contributing to achieving the objectives set out in the directive principles of state in the Constitution. All ministers have that duty. So the Attorney General has a duty, it is indeed his duty, to be telling us about his work and how his work is progressing, and even to seek the support of the public in doing his work. Why? When the NPP was in power, the Ministry of National Security and the security agencies came up with some slogan. You remember that slogan? Yeah. You all remember. That when you see something or hear something, you report to the security services.
See something, say something.
See something, say something. That was an NPP slogan. Now, how will people see something and say something if they have no role to play in the investigations and prosecutions of things that affect us? So the NPP itself admitted that the engagement with the public in the fight against crime was so very important. How do you engage with the public? The days when you beat talking drums to send information to people, those days are gone. Today, the way of sending information to the broad masses of our people, to our countrymen and women, is through the media. Not just the traditional media, but also through social media. So, what crime has the AG committed? What crime has the AG committed? Nobody has said so. In any case, these people who want us to believe that they are constitutionalists, they want to follow the Constitution, they don't want to violate anybody's rights and so on. No. That the remedy for the violation of law or the Constitution, it's in the Constitution itself. So, why did they go to the press? Why didn't they go to the courts? To get the courts to rule that the AG should not be holding press conferences. If there's a violation of law, you go to the courts.
They are only drawing attention to Article 19(2)(c).
Yeah, but if you want the enforcement of an article in the Constitution, what do?
We'll go to court.
Did you go to court?
Maybe we have drawn their attention. If they refuse prosper, we'll go to court.
Mujib, I beg you, don't do what you are doing to yourself. Yes,
I
beg you.
Chama here, Chama here.
Don't do what you are doing to yourself.
Chama, I hear.
Yes, I beg you.
I hear.
Don't destroy yourself and your reputation. Because this press conference by the minority is so unbelievably unnecessary. You understand? And I'm struggling to choose my words. So unbelievably unnecessary. How do you gag the Attorney General about the performance of his constitutional duty? How can you gag him? And the Attorney General is just saying that he's not pronouncing a verdict of guilty and so on. He's simply saying that these are matters which has come before me, has come to my notice. We have carried out investigations. These are the things that we have found. We are going to put this same material before a competent court for the court to decide whether they are guilty or not guilty. What is the problem with that? What is the problem with that? That's like this minority sometimes really, this minority sometimes, you can't understand. You don't know what they're up to. It's very strange. Why? Is this the first time in our history that the AG is telling about cases that he wants to prosecute? Go and check your own record. Why? Before Dr. Opuni was taken to court, we were told about why they wanted to take him to court. Your own government. Should I tell you the number of cases? Matchlock, before the case went to court, they came and told us that they intended to go to court. These are the findings that they had made and so on. We can go back. Before they took Mr. Tachikata to court, didn't they come and tell us why they wanted to take him to court and what they had found and so on? Please stop wasting our time. We don't have unlimited time, and we should spend our time doing important and serious things and not waste our time on these noises, coming from a so-called minority.
Well, thank you. Well, if you're just joining us, I'll bring Solomon also shortly, but thank you very much. A few comments from those of you who are joining us. Hadi in Pig Farm says, good morning. No regime since independence has stolen as much as this creative and Anado Bawumia appointee. So trusting Dr. Bawumia is like deceiving yourself that a castrated he-goat can still make a female goat pregnant. Thank you very much for that comment. There's Ben from Amprobi. So now it is wrong to convince somebody in the media. When you took President Mahama to the media for taking fraud bribe and government official one, those time was the court closed. Attorney General want more of your press conferences. That's Ben who sent that from Amprobi. This one says the elephants are crying foul about the AG's public pronouncements because it's opening the eyes of the citizens to know how badly they governed this country. You didn't add your name. Anthony Bruce says corruption has been part of our DNA. The only way to fight it is for one to be eliminated from the general society through imprisonment or death. All the talks are just wasting our airways. Our leaders don't have the big balls to face the realities because they're afraid of their own shadows. There's this one from Bo de Graaf Johnson, who says, until Ghanaian politicians and lawmakers are held accountable for their misdeeds, Ghana should be termed as a failed state. 30 years of egregious misrule has characterized our so-called democracy. That's de Graaf Johnson who sent that. Davi Sena Keta says, tell the minority led by Afenyo Makin to shut up. Minorities should know that we are in a new era. Gone are the days when the NPP led by Akufo-Addo swept criminal cases under the carpet. It is our right to know what some people are intentionally doing, stealing our hard-earned monies. Government is of the people, by the people, and from the people. So NPP should shut up. So those are some of the comments you're sending to us, and I can realize that you're sending more as the show continues.
It is clear that again the president has not violated any law in the appointment of the Chief Justice and for presenting the name of the Chief Justice to be vetted by Parliament as is required by the Constitution. And the minority is fully aware of this. Why do you think that the minority didn't go to court to seek an injunction? Because they knew it would fail. Because they know there's no such law. So what do? They petition Parliament. And what is interesting, it is the minority which challenge the notion or the accepted practice that Parliament makes rules governing its own function. And the minority went to court, to the Supreme Court, and asked a court presided over by the former Chief Justice to interfere in a matter which was purely parliamentary. And the courts came up and said, we have the power to interfere, and dwelt on some notion of separation of powers as well. This same minority,
Checks and balances.
this same minority, led by this same leader. So sometimes you wonder, you understand? Now, the same minority has gone to parliament and is telling parliament virtually to stop a process of appointing the head of the judiciary. What kind of minority is this? I mean, what they're doing has no merit in law, has no merit in common sense, has absolutely no merit at all. And what is the effect of this? I mean, if a decision was to be taken, that because the former Chief Justice has filed some cases which she may not win or may win, this process should be suspended. It can lead to a situation where the process is suspended virtually forever, for 3 years. Because all she has to do is that anytime somebody is being nominated to occupy that position, to go to court and file a frivolous case. It may take a month, it may take 2 months, it may take 4 months for the court to come to a determination that the case has no merit. It would have halted the process. As soon as the court decides, the court decides that her case has no merit, she files an appeal. Parliament cannot vet, cannot approve anybody, and so on. It goes all the way to the Supreme Court, and then she will ask for a review. And by the time the review is given, she goes back to the High Court with another case, and so on. What is this? What is this? This is deliberate, Now, very interestingly, the public is asking questions, and I've met people, so-called ordinary people and so on, and I say, but what is the minority's interest in this one person? I'm sure all of you have met people who have raised that question. Why? What does the minority stand to gain if this one person becomes Chief Justice? That's a question everybody is asking. Because I think the minority has conducted itself in such a manner as to suggest that without this particular lady being a Chief Justice, they would never have confidence in the justice system. Listen, Justice Bafuboni was promoted to the Court of Appeal by President Kufuor. It was an NPP government which promoted him to the Supreme Court. So why all this? Why all this? This is not somebody who was appointed by Jerry Rawlings or Mills or Mahama. Somebody appointed by an NPP person. Somebody who contested elections on the ticket of the NPP. And yet the NPP is up in arms. Are they telling us that President Kufuor was wrong? That Justice Bafuboni did not deserve, the appointment of... I don't understand. Yes, sir. But that is the minority. And if this is how they want to conduct themselves, hallelujah, let them go on. What they have to realize is that the people of Ghana are watching and they are listening. And that 2028, when the people of Ghana are called upon to make choices, their choices will be guided by the conduct of the minority and the majority today. The people will pass a verdict, as they have always passed verdicts on the performance of the political parties and their major actors. So they should carry on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And that concludes our discussion on the second issue. We're moving to the third one. A few comments from those of you who are joining us. First, this one says, good morning, Senator. I would like to commend Mr. Solomon Owusu for his passion in fighting corruption. I respectfully request that he leads the petition to the Office of Special Prosecutor or the Attorney General to investigate the NAPCO scheme, which was under the supervision of former Vice President Dr. Baumia. A forensic audit is essential to ascertain the actual expenditure versus the claimed amount. Certain things did not go well on the scheme, and AG must not leave that out. From Nana Techi Eric, who is a former National Public Relations Officer for NAPCO trainees. Thank you very much. This one, okay, thank you. It says, NPP believes many Ghanaians are undiscerning, and so I think attempting to control the political narrative is the way to go. Guess what? I've heard from very credible sources that Ofoyata is in the process of acquiring an American citizenship. Hence the dilly-dally by the OSP. I see. This one says, greetings. The AG is very, very smart for telling us his findings from the looters. He should bring us more to enlighten us, the people of Ghana. But he must lead in taking that 60-40% from our law books. I think the last time he addressed the press, he stated clearly that hence what he's decided is that he will file the charges. If you want to do plea bargaining, go before the court and announce that this is what I want to do. Then there's this one, Senator, from what you said, okay, SNET is back. Then the NDC is a probity and accountability party from the horse's own mouth. And you see our current situation where corruption seems to be deepening. I'll often use the probity and accountability, but the NDC is social bolo. And I have heard them saying it. Okay, I think you're still making the argument. The NDC says they are social democratic. Social democratic. They are essentially a centrist party. They are in the middle, feeding into capitalism and socialism. Then a few more from this one, Mr. Hope, please, is all TAFO MPVs and SFO in Ghana because we need an update about JDM and a nice travel out of Ghana 6 times already. Please ask. Okay, thank you very much for those comments. What we know, for example, what we know for a fact is that Parliament has set a date for the vetting of the nominee for Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni. It is November 10. That's the day that they've set. They haven't decided on this motion of the minority yet. Somebody mentioned the name of Mr. K.Pratt. I think I was reading a comment and I read, apparently yesterday was his birthday. Before I forget again, a belated happy birthday to Mr. K.Pratt. We have to move on to the very next discussion. Then this one has to do with Paul Afoko joining the NPP chairmanship rate. In fact, so far, there are many people who have announced that they want to contest to lead the NPP as chairman of the party. This is the Daily Graphic Online report. In a statement issued in Accra, Mr. Afoko said his decision to contest for the chairmanship followed, quote, extensive reflection and encouragement from many well-meaning members, supporters, and stakeholders of the New Patriotic Party. He stressed the need for, quote, renewed leadership rooted in the founding values and democratic ideals, end quote, of the NPP. It acknowledged the personal difficulties he endured, noting that the journey has not been without its trials, but stressed that he has always chosen to prioritize the unity and progress of the NPP. That is the statement that announced his entry into the race of chairmanship. We haven't gotten there yet because the NPP is doing top-down approach. I don't that particularly now. After they are done with the top, we don't know whether they continue and elect national chairman, regional executives, or they will now come back to the bottom and start and go up again. So it's unclear, but we know that they are doing flag bearer. Nyawase Radio K.Pratt 89.7, Stella Radio Dabala on 97.1, Diamond FM in Tamale 93.7, Bar Radio in Yendi 106.5, Radio Kita Saboba 95.7, Benya FM Elmina 105.7, Global FM 105.1 in Ho, Zebs FM 95.9 in Zebela, True FM 92.5 in Adeso, Lamara FM 89.1 in Shriponi, Boem 88.7 FM in Jasikan, Lukusi on 96.1 in Vergolokwati, Tyne FM on 19.9, Sekpele 104.3 FM, Akpini Radio in Kpando, Denyigba Radio 90.9, Oti Radio in Dambai are all tuning to us currently. Thank you all very much for offering us your platform. Dr. Zubeiru sent this comment earlier because I took my wife to Ridge Hospital and I was told to sign my wife should be treated while sitting in a plastic chair because there's no bed. But people were able to steal monies for procurement of beds to hospitals in Ghana. And Dr. Zubeiru, thank you very much for that comment. Azure says, is Polafoko aware that he's not qualified to contest? According to the amnesty, members who accepted cannot contest any internal elections. I think he's been addressing that issue. He said he was not dismissed from the party. He was removed from his position. Tafai Namahiasana, the minority petition to hold the vetting of Chief Justice is dead on arrival. Nobody can stop Parliament from exercising its constitutional duties. My regards to your guests, including my brother Mujib, that's Tafa who sent that. This one from Martin Kwame said, Soviet says, the minority's call to hold the vetting of Justice Bafoboni is much ado about nothing. The mini-micro minority should stop disturbing our ears with their unproductive, anemic, and useless press conference and rather spend their time to rebuild and resuscitate their party, which is currently in a state of comatose. Thank you for that. Well, I think those are the comments that I can go through now. There's a lot here. I'll come back to that. Mr. Pratt?
Well, I mean, it's a fact, that Mr. Polafoko is a very good friend of mine and is somebody who I've respected over the years. Clearly, Mr. Apuko is on the left of the New Patriotic Party. And I've sometimes wondered why he found himself there in the first place, I'm completely baffled by his decision to go and contest for the national chairmanship of the New Patriotic Party. But to be honest with you, I haven't had a chat with him for a couple of months, and therefore I'm unable to find why he thinks that at this time he can best serve his conscience and his country by going to contest for the position of national chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Indeed, if Mr. Polafoko had sought my views, I would have strongly, and I mean very, very strongly, advised him against this adventure. As far as I'm concerned, what he's setting out to do is an adventure. You see, perhaps it is important to remind him that the party he left behind is not what it was then. That party has undergone tremendous changes. And it's even possible that the delegates who voted for him to become national chairman are not the same delegates who will be voting in the next elections. He comes with a handicap. I know that he's a very hard-working person, very, very hard-working person. I know that he's one person who reflects very deeply before he takes any action and so on. But I'm not so sure about this move that he's about to make or has made. Whatever it is, as a friend and as somebody I've respected over the years, all I can do at this stage is to wish him well. I wish Mr. Polafoko well. That's all I can do at this stage.
Well, I'll go through some of your comments. whilst we continue the show. This one is from, says, the NPP are a useless party. Mujib is just looking for his daily bread in the NPP. He definitely know the party is useless. Okay, there's a comment from, you didn't add your name to this. This one says, I like the way Solomon also presents his issues. Thank you very much for the comment. More, good morning, Pan-African TV. Baumia told Ghanaians that there was, in Ghana, they will not go to the IMF. Okay, I think there was money in Ghana, so they will not go to IMF. But not knowing there's plenty money that they came to loot. George sent that from who? There's more from Nelson Agoma from Bogatanga, who says, I just want to give my thumbs up to Solomon Owusu. I really admire him and wish that we had his type to always be on most of the morning shows on some of the TV channels. He's fearless and upright in his presentations or any issue raised and discussed. He's always making my day, such that I always search for him to see which TV station he is on. I pray and wish that God continues to guide and protect him. Nelson Agoma sent that from Bogatanga. More says, good morning, Senna. Especially to my boss Solo for the wonderful submissions. Look at the buffer stock and SS case. You wonder the country we are living in. As stated by my boss, Mr. Solo, someone stole foodstuff to survive, and I jailed for that. While others still the whole nation, and they are free men. Ibrahim sent that from Tamale. And then there's this one from Ambassador in Fadama. Says the MPP man is okay. The way he's speaking indicates that he cannot convince anyone to join the MPP. That's Ambassador who sent that from Fadama. And this one says, Senator, please ask Solo when the EC boss will be audited. The hotel she's building is huge. Really? Where did she get the money? Solo, you know anything about that? Apparently, you know when the EC boss will be audited. Alhassan Hamdan says there's a saying, a clear conscience fears no accusations. What is the worry of the minority? If your hands are clean, why should you be worried about the Attorney General briefing the public on corruption updates? So your hard truth is pushing me to join UP. The decision of Polafoko to contest the MPP chairmanship position is a bad decision, and he must rethink his decision. Then there's this one who says, what then is the guarantee that Polafoko won't be removed as chairman if elected as he was removed, Mujib? The scheme that got Afoko removed as party chairman is still in existence. Polafoko going back to contest for the position of the party chairman is the weakest decision. He didn't add his name to that comment. Asanko again says the now irrelevant micro-minority are doing what they are good at, diabolical, mischievous, and destructive. They are behaving like the typical Konongo Kaya. They don't know how to govern, yet they will not allow those who have the expertise to govern to do so. In fact, they are not only selfish and greedy, they are evil as well. Sanko in Santa Maria sent that. Then there's this one from Honorable Ajiman Dabo Aseo Sesana. I'm disappointed in Mr. Foko for having no regrets of disgrace done to him by the Akufo-Addo's leadership. It's better to join UP instead. That is someone's contribution. So Mr. Foko should have joined UP. There's Mutala in Salaga who says, good morning, Sana. All corrupt politicians in NDC should be dealt with seriously. Then there's this one, Telanko K.Pratt, if he refuses to establish Pan-African Ideology Institute before he departs from this, we will not forgive him. Rejoining the MPP is not news. Okay, says Polafoko is not rejoining MPP. He never left the New Patriotic Party. He's bidding to be chairman once again. This is the second time. First time he did, he was removed from the position. He wants to try another time, and that's what we are discussing. So Polafoko, not news, therefore has no. Okay, thank you very much, Mutala. I think you didn't get the point we are discussing. Like I said, it's about him bidding to contest for the position of national chairman of the NPP. Then there's this one. I will advise Mr. Polafoko to desist from contesting the chairmanship position of the NPP. He should be guided by the adage, once beaten, twice shy. Gabriel Makwete of Sefwi Junasi in the Western North region. Then there's this one. We say, Senna, NPP must be commended for using the top-down approach, though some people know the motive behind it. If you look at it carefully, maybe it can reduce the monetary influence in some areas of party internal elections. Says, what is the OSP doing about the $1 million that Osafo paid to Kroll and Associates for no work done, for which he masterminded the removal of Domelevo? It appears that matters has been put to rest. That issue must not be allowed to die. Osafo must be prosecuted for the corruption activities he engaged in during both Kufuor and Akufo-Addo's era. Fred Tabri says Ghanaians are killing, watching and listening to proceedings in the CJ vetting. The outcome will not be in shambles. Whatever the case, and like Uncle Kwesi asked, what at all is the NPP's interest in this very one person, Tokono? Fred, thank you for that. This one is from Abena in Etiwa East District, who says, I always admire the Solomon Owusu man for his plain communication without fear. He speaks fat, but in fact, take your two. I think she just translated you two into English. When will Solomon Owusu become a flag bearer? I like his zeal against corruption. Solomon should have done law course to become Attorney General to do with these heartless people duping our money. This one says the OSP cannot throw dust into the face of Ghanaians. This investigation of the SML started in 2024. Why did the OSP allow Kenneth Oyata to travel when he knows very much that the investigation is not done? Kisi Jabin can never deny the fact that he's not protecting Kenneth Oyata. God is watching. He thinks he will leave on. He should be kicked out. Very corrupt. Okay. Thank you very much. There's somebody who just says, Solomon Owusu, you have my vote. I don't know what you are contesting for. Harry sent this from Amrahia. Okay, he just wanted us to know that he's at Amrahia on a dental road. This is okay. Thank you very much. There are those who are. This one's good morning. Senator, my name is Francis from Volta. I cried today for, in fact, I feel sad. Please help our youth. It's not so clear what that is about. A few more comments from those who are sending comments right now. Hello, Senator. Mujib has started growing lean. Joe sent this from Tamale. Joe, thank you. In Ghana, when you steal a goat, you are a thief. You'll be jailed. If you steal millions, you are honorable and will walk free. Kujo from Keta says, Senator, the least talk about the NPP, the better. But for the sake of patriotism, some of us can't close our mouth. Come to think about the ghost names that we are witnessing under Nana Bawumia rule. I'm not even surprised when the 63 MPs who openly endorsed Bawumia had a ghost among them. If we give the chance to Bawumia to head the country, ghost will drive us out of this country. Senna, if Polafoko contests and wins, and Bawumia wins the flag bearership, can the two be compatible? My name is Kujo from Keta. Kujo is asking. Edodo Bing says, I think Mr. Solomon Owusu and all the members of the Afro-Fanto party are the original team A of the NPP party. I like Solomon Owusu's submissions and wish him and the Afro-Fanto party very well. I believe all the well-meaning folks in the NPP team B will come back to join the Afro-Fanto to form a very solid team, to form a great party to lead this country into the future. And that's what they were both talking about, whether Mujib will be so disgruntled, will join the UP, or the NPP will become better.
We have a bet. He says you put today's date down. Is that what it is?
Yes.
1st November.
Yes.
So just put it down.
This was NPP is now scattered and there's no dignity left. Akufo-Addo is just looking for his daily bread. He was never a serious in the UP. Just okay. Thank you very much for that comment. Stephen in Kwabenya says, if the NPP is not happy with the AG briefing us on oral, they can go to court to restrain the AG not to do that. Are the courts close to them in 2025? NPP never again. And he says, is the NPP spokesperson for Tokono? Okay, Stephen, thank you very much for that comment. Okay. All right, so those are some of the comments you're sending to us. Let me do a few on Facebook. Bliss Abound says Afoko is not serious. Jose Agumabia says, Polafoko, my good friend, join the UP Plus. Since Alan and yourself are from the Kufuor stock, Solo, do your magic. You have been very honest since you left the NPP. UP Plus is a transformational party indeed for transforming Solo. Constance Kwao says Mr. Afoko is being influenced by the Baumia to contest. Tanko Alheri is also joining us. Please kindly tell Solo that I need his contact. He inspired me his heart through, so I would like to be part of the movement for change and the Alan team. He sent that from Louisville, Kentucky, USA. Ni Latte says that Polafoko should have considered the current state of the NPP before making his decision. There's Halidu Angari who says Mujib think their old tactics will make them survive. Nalai. The NPP party will be in opposition forever. So thank you very much. Kofi Simon, okay. Ishmael Mwini says if this is how Solomon is going to communicate, then his party is in trouble. He can't convince anybody to join the party. Osei Prempe II says Paul Afoko is a disgrace to himself. How will his family, including Gregory, feel when he sees NPP flag in his brother's room? The trauma alone can kill him. That's for Osei Prempe II. Nila Ate is also joining us. I'm highly disappointed in Paul Afoko for going back to the NPP after the humiliation and imprisonment of his brother by the same political party. Whoever advised him has done him more harm than good. Kofi Simon again, Paul Afoko must... Okay, thank you very much. I think so.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.